Hello, welcome back to your June 4Thought. I'm Nathan.
I'm Lauren.
And it is June, it's the beginning of summer, and we officially had the kickoff to the beginning of summer with Memorial Day weekend that just happened. I hope you had a great Memorial Day. We want to thank all of those who served and sacrificed for our country. I know Lauren and I both have had family members who have served in the military, so without you doing what you do, we wouldn't be able to be doing what we do. So thank you very much for your service. So we'll talk about the market, we'll talk about risk, we'll do some planning notes and wrap it up. But first, I'm going to quiz you. I'm going to give you a question. Favorite. Yep, and you're going to know. You're going to get close. I feel like, because we were just shared some notes.
I did major in economics, so getting close is all I have to do to get the answer right.
That's good. So our chief investment officer just shared some data with us, and just thinking about what's happened in the last couple of months since the March lows, and we just had a pretty significant sell-off in the market just a couple months ago, as we did with 2025 as well. And in this recent sell-off from March to now, or at the bottom of that kind of sell-off to now, it's been 40 days. So 40 days since that March low in the S&P 500. How much have we gained since that March low, Lauren? What's your guess?
Yeah, and when you say March low,
your informed guess.
My informed guess, and I just want to set the stage. You said March low. I think you're underselling it. I mean, we almost reached correction territory. So, right. So definitely scary. Definitely a lot of talking heads at that time saying, "Hey, this is it. Everything's changed. The world's going to end."
Sounds smart when you do that.
Sounds super smart when you do that.
You can sound very smart when you do that.
But back to your question, we're actually up 18%.
That's right.
In 40 days.
18% in 40 days. And so and maybe you want to talk about how that ranks, but or some other instances where we've had this happen, but that is the 8th strongest 40-day rally since 1950. So
and so many reasons for it not to rally, right? I mean, I don't want to discredit the conversations that we've been having with people and their concerns about all the things that are concerning. And it just kind of shows the disconnect between the market and maybe the economy or the market or other things. But you kind of mentioned them, and I am going to reference my notes so I don't get some of these wrong. But we had similar pullbacks, 2009, 2020,
of course,
1982.
That's before me.
And through all of those, we had similar types of recoveries, not exactly the same. But I think the overall thing that we kind of noticed is the earnings, right? The companies that make up the market, the focus of the market is how well those companies are doing, the earnings that they're returning. That's really been what's driving the kind of growth. And that continues to happen with all the things that are going on in the world.
Yeah, we just had earnings season. It was a strong earnings season. Companies were reporting great earnings and projections moving forward. So that's typically a good time to be invested in stocks. And you're not always going to have these robust times, but when you do, it is important that you don't maybe hyper-focus necessarily on what's driving that, because that can lead to some bad outcomes.
That's right. You led us into the next kind of conversation. I was going to ask you that exact question.
Quiz me back.
When you have these kind of recoveries, like we just talked about, there's probably risks that are involved.
Sure.
What are some risks? I mean, you've been doing this a while and meeting with a lot of clients, helping them be successful. What are some risks that you kind of warn them about when you have a market like this?
Yeah, I think if you have if you're in a correction and then you have a big rally out of that correction that seemingly just goes straight up, which kind of feels like it has gone straight up. I think the biggest risk is, you tell me what you see, but I think people sometimes will focus on their portfolio maybe too much and ignore some planning things that we could help them with. Like, for instance, hey, what's the hottest part of what's driving this? What's driving the part of the market that's driving
and they're getting fed that through all the social media and the news, always talking about what's making the biggest gains in the market.
FOMO. So they get the FOMO.
They get the FOMO. And so I agree with you. It's kind of chasing returns.
Correct.
Maybe giving up on diversification.
Right. So like, this area of the market is the hottest. Why don't I have more in that, Lauren? Why don't I have more of my portfolio there in that part of the portfolio? I agree.
And then another part is sometimes it's hard to get people motivated to want to go over the planning aspect of what we do when they're like, hey, my account's doing well, everything's good. I'll get back maybe after summer vacation.
Yeah.
Maybe after a couple months I get back together with you.
Yeah, of course.
So that's always a big risk as well. And then I think that kind of leads us into planning. So talked about the market, we talked about some risks, go over planning. And June, believe it or not, is Brain Awareness Month. I promise you I'm going to tie this together. It probably doesn't seem like it right now.
You made me aware of that.
Yeah. So whenever we see the market doing well, and taxes are in the rearview mirror, summer's ahead, maybe some vacation, maybe some time to relax, maybe some time to open up your mind. Don't live in a fixed mind state, live in that mind state where new ideas are able to freely flow. That's kind of when we want to talk to people about, hey, have we done the fundamentals in the planning to help simplify things for you, simplify things for your family? And unfortunately, sometimes we have to think way into the future, simplify things for your beneficiaries. So I think now's a good time to do that, because maybe you aren't so concerned about how the portfolio is performing. And the way I'm tying this into Brain Awareness Month is, just like the best time to make good decisions or when the market's performing at its best, the good time to make decisions, the best time to make decisions, maybe I need some brain awareness, is when you are in the best position. So when you're most mentally aware, when you're most mentally acute, that's going to give you the opportunity to make the best decisions. So for me, I know in my family, there's been a lot of what they call cognitive decline. And some of the people maybe have made great decisions prior to that. Maybe some of those people haven't made great decisions. And the people that haven't made great decisions, I don't mean to sound like they did it on purpose, but maybe they didn't anticipate this coming. It puts a lot of pressure on the family to figure out, hey, what would mom and dad wanted to have done with their final wishes? Who would mom and dad want their money to have gone to? Are there charities that they wanted? Are there special things that they had in their mindset? So I think this is a good time, never a good time to think about the future that way. But if you think that's occurring in your family or could occur, or maybe you even have friends that you've seen them decline and they haven't reached out to a professional, we'd be happy to talk to those people and coordinate with other professionals to make sure we've alleviated as much of that concern as possible.
Yeah, it's not fun necessarily to think about those things, but it is important. And honestly, if you get your estate planning kind of buttoned up and you have maybe it's a long-term care discussion as well, maybe like it's, what if I need extra care? What if someone in my family needs that? Do they have those things? How do we solve for that? What does that cost? How does it work? All of those things we can help with. And I think once you address those things and you kind of get those things buttoned up and have reviewed them and have a plan together, then you really don't have to. I don't think it shouldn't occupy that space in the back of your mind anymore. You can kind of move forward and look forward.
I think we've talked about this in the past, but I'm going to continue to talk about it because maybe not everybody's heard it. But again, the best time to make decisions are where you're in a stable mind state. And I think Nathan and I have a lot of experience where maybe we've worked with clients or maybe we've just onboarded clients and something's happened and that puts them into a state of distress because a health incident or a family member health incident, and making decisions in that time frame is much more difficult. So I would always say strong markets are fun, right? It's nice when you open up your account statement or you check the app and you see some green.
The My Confluence app.
App.
Yes.
Make sure that we
if you don't
have talked to you about
that,
the My Confluence app. If we haven't, please reach out to us.
Yeah.
A great way to kind of coordinate all your different accounts in one spot and allow you to kind of check on the progress of that as well. And you can tie into the planning aspect as well. So thank you for reminding me of that.
I had to plug it.
You plug it away. I love it. So again, strong markets, that provides some euphoria, but it doesn't take away from the fact that strong markets don't always happen. And it's the planning part that we do that's going to provide resilience when the market maybe isn't cooperating so much. So again, we appreciate you listening to us, hopefully every month, hopefully in our meetings. We open all of these saying thanks. We end it with saying thanks. We encourage any dialogue, maybe something that we haven't thought about in these meetings or these videos that you want us to talk about. Please reach out. We'd be happy to do it. So with that, I appreciate all your time. I appreciate your commitment to everything, and I look forward to talking to you again next month. Thank you.
Thank you.